I trek past plains and vast plains, blessed with ash and rain. My past is strange, but I'll master the pain. Like back in the days, start acting amazed at life. On a path where you stray from strife. Ahimsa, non-violence is the principle. Beyond the islands of invincible divinities, be centered in symmetry with centuries of symphonies. You're meant to be in synergy with densities, energies from Gaia.
Shalom. Today we'll be reading out of the Quran, Surah 2, 115. It goes, "To God belongs the east and the west. Whichever way you turn, there is the face of God. He is omnipresent and all-knowing." And pretty much all religions state this very same thing. He is omnipresent, which we'll get into a little bit today, and all-knowing, which he is the only knowing. But what I want to stick on today is, whichever way you turn, there is the face of God. Most people in religions find this hard to believe because they believe God to be an entity off in the distance from them. So he ain't everywhere because everywhere I see is evil, tends to be the common statement. And those who even seek the direct path of non-duality tend to, when they search, say, well, I see my awareness, but I don't see how you are me, or you are my awareness. And so I want to try to get into that today and try to make it clear. So this statement, which is in the Quran, where it says, whichever way you turn, there is the face of God. First of all, we must understand what God is. Okay, God is the awareness that, so to speak, is behind all things. And the fastest way for you to see it is in yourself. Your own awareness. Right? What is aware of, if you call yourself a man or a woman, black or white. I'm a black woman from Minnesota who is a doctor and a mother. Who is the one aware of all these things? What is it that's aware? Okay? Who is behind the sight of the body? Who is behind the thoughts of the mind or the feelings of the body? There are different names for that which we call God. That's why a lot of religions say it's to be nameless, because it's not a thing that you can name. But people call it awareness, consciousness, God. I tend to stick with awareness because of the meaning of the word. Aware means to basically know, and ness is a suffix meaning being or being present. So the presence of being aware is awareness. And that word sums up God, or what most people call God, perfectly to me, because God is knowing or aware, and ness, which is being, he is being and he is aware. Meaning being, meaning present and always aware. So that which is in you, that invisible, that cannot be known, that all things are known to, is what I call God for when I'm speaking to people in religion, and what is awareness when I'm speaking to like-minded people like myself. So whichever way you turn, there is the face of God. So even in religious texts like the Bible, it says, love your neighbor as yourself. The reason it's telling you to love your neighbor as yourself is because you do not know that your neighbor is yourself currently. So until you know that, you will not treat him as yourself. And so, if you're looking at your neighbor, basically the Bible's saying the neighbor is yourself, okay? And if you know your true self, or that pure awareness, that knowing that knows all things, that awareness is you, and that awareness is God. So how is awareness everywhere you turn? Well, let's take, for instance, the sound of my voice that you hear. The only thing you know about me at this current time is the sound of my voice. All you hear, all there is to me is hearing right now. You are hearing me. And the sound of my voice is not separate from you knowing it or being aware of it. So the only way my voice even is in existence right now for you is because you are aware of it. So that my voice is just a modulation or a form of you. Because where does hearing take place? It doesn't take place outside of you. It takes place within you. You are the knower of hearing. And the hearing is hearing my voice. There is no separation. Only mind tends to make separation. So the hearing of my voice, the hearing of my voice is not separate from you being aware of it. Right? Or for instance, if you're looking at a phone or a computer right now, all you know of that phone or computer is seeing. And seeing doesn't take place outside of you. Seeing takes place by you. It is a mode of you. You know you are seeing. Seeing isn't independent from knowing that you're seeing. For instance, if I have a microphone in front of me, the microphone, it's not that here is a microphone independent of me. I'm having an experience of a microphone. That's why the microphone is even so-called brought up, because it is experienced by me. Nothing exists outside of being aware of it. Nothing exists outside awareness, or what we call God. Nothing exists outside of that. Let me try to give an example. If I was to say, have you ever seen a dinosaur? Let's say a dinosaur. Or let me think of something else. Have you ever seen a pink tiger? You would say no. Right? Because, and if we asked 100 other people, they would say no, they've never seen a pink tiger. But does that exclude its existence? No. But can you come to the summation or the conclusion that pink tigers don't exist based on your own being aware of it and others being aware of it? Yes. You can. So, and when I say, we're not just talking about my own existence. We're talking about, or own awareness, should I say. There is no my own awareness. There is only one awareness. Just like there's only one space. There's a space in my house and a space in your house. Are those two spaces different? If we're using the mind would say, of course they're different. But no, if we tore down both houses, we would see the space is only one. Your mind is confused by the buildings being up there. These are two separate spaces. And that's the same thing when we see things in the earth. We think we are two separate beings because the mind tends to divide. That's the nature of the mind, to divide things, to separate things. But when you tear these thoughts and opinions and beliefs of the mind down, you will see all things are one. So all things are made of awareness. Because, for instance, the world is you only know the world by your five senses. Sight, smell, hear, taste, and touch. But all these five senses are what? They are known. So if your five senses are known, that which knows the five senses knows the things the senses are keyed in on. And that's all you know of life is knowing. Whatever it is, it's knowing or awareness. And there's no separation in awareness. All things are one. So when the Quran says, whichever way you turn your face, there is God. It's similar to the analogy I like to use of the screen in the movie. Although you can be looking at a screen and you see waves and a surfer on there, you would say, well, there's an ocean and there's a surfer. But when you go up and touch the screen, all you see or feel is the screen. That's all there is. There's no separation. If I went to touch the surfer, I would feel screen. If I went to touch the wave, I would feel screen. There is no separation, although it seems to be separate things. It's all one, should I say, experience. And that's how life is. Life is just one. Every religion testifies to this. God is one. God is one. We tend to think when we're using our minds that God is one entity off in the far distance. But no, it means God is only. There is only God. Everything is made up of God. Everything is made up of awareness. You cannot name a thing without being aware of it, because that's what it is made up of. Awareness, or let's say Godness. Everywhere you turn, and all that, everywhere you turn is you, because you are that which you seek. And it is omnipresent, present everywhere. Like I said, present even in the tree, in the phone, in the computer, on the screen, whatever you're looking at, it exists in what? Most people say in God, or this is what this is saying. Everywhere you look is in God. Everything you find is in awareness. And so everything is made up of you and comes and is you. Comes up out of you and fades out of you. All things are you. And all things are known to who? You. The body doesn't know it. Your mind doesn't know it. All things are known to you because you are the knower of all things. And so with that, we'll end it here.